driver of desire. Story. Madeline Carter wasn't just rich, she was feared. CEO of one of the largest real estate conglomerates in New York, she ran meetings like a general commands a battalion. 42 years old, long straight dark hair cascading over her perfectly tailored shoulders, sharp brown eyes that didn't blink. Her presence silenced rooms. She didn't smile. She decided. She had a divorce behind her and a reputation for being untouchable, but there were nights when the silence of her penthouse weighed heavier than any contract. It all started with a delay. Her previous driver had quit for personal reasons. A new one had been assigned. Madeline barely looked up when he opened the back door of the black Mercedes for the first time. "Ms. Carter, pleasure to meet you. I'm Ryan." She simply nodded and stepped into the car. But in the window's reflection, she caught a glimpse of his features. Early 30s, golden brown skin, short beard, broad frame under the discreet driver's suit. His voice was deep, calm, with a touch of rasp. He didn't stare, didn't make small talk. Professional and impossibly masculine. Days passed. Madeline began to notice him more, the way he gripped the wheel, the way his arms moved. How he opened the door for her with a gaze that was always direct and respectful, too respectful. Then one Friday, after a corporate gala at a luxury hotel, she left later than expected. She was tired, slightly tipsy from the champagne. She slid into the car, crossing her legs more slowly than usual. Her tight black dress clung to her like a second skin. Ryan started the engine, but the silence inside was different. Heavy, heated. "Have you been a driver for long?" she asked, her voice low, almost teasing. "About 6 years. Before that, private security." "Why the switch?" "You're tired of taking bullets for other people." Madeline laughed, truly laughed, for the first time in ages. "I suppose driving me is safer, though perhaps more dangerous in other ways." Ryan gave her a quick glance in the rearview mirror. She noticed. On the way, she slipped off her shoes, stretched her legs like she'd forgotten someone else was present. When they arrived at her building, he stepped out to open her door, as always, but she didn't move. "In a hurry?" she asked. "No." "Want to come up for a drink?" "As a thank you." He hesitated, then nodded. Her apartment mirrored her, commanding, sophisticated, cold. Her apartment mirrored her, commanding, sophisticated, cold. She poured 2 glasses of red wine without asking his preference. "You can take off the jacket," she said, settling on the sofa with one leg folded under the other. He obeyed, then stood, glass in hand. "Are you uncomfortable?" "A little." He smirked. "I assume you don't do this with all your drivers." "You're not like the others." Silence. Madeline stood and walked up to him. Very close. She looked into Ryan's eyes, with the same resolve she used in boardrooms, but this time it was laced with desire. "You've been looking at me for days, Ryan. The way a man looks at a woman, I don't misread those things." He took a deep breath, jaw tightening. "And you, don't act like a woman who wants to be ignored." She set her wineglass on the table, moved closer. Her fingers touched his chest. "Then stop calling me ma'am." The kiss was inevitable, fierce, urgent. She tugged at his shirt. He gripped her waist. Their mouths collided with the hunger of days repressed. Clothes fell to the floor. Jacket, blouse, bra, shirt. Their touches were ravenous. He laid her on the couch, tracing down her body as if exploring sacred terrain. Madeline moaned with a husky voice, nails digging into his back. When he entered her, the world stilled. Every thrust was precise, intense, sending waves of pleasure through her body she hadn't felt in years. After breathless, they lay in silence. She leaned back. He stared at the ceiling. "Does this change things?" he asked. "Changes everything," she replied. "But I won't stop." And they didn't. For weeks, Ryan was her driver by morning, lover by night. In the car, in the private elevator, in the office restroom, she became wild with him, lost, exposed, and Ryan, despite his modest background, knew exactly how to dominate her. With his body, with his voice, with the steady gaze no one else dared hold. But one day, in a board meeting, one of the partners, a man who had long sought to dethrone her, made a pointed remark. "Be careful who you let into your car, Madeline. Sometimes the driver knows too much." She got the message. Someone knew. That night, she didn't invite him up, and the next morning she told him he was dismissed. Ryan didn't argue. He simply nodded. No drama, no demands, but he left a note on the passenger seat. "You handled me like you handle your company, total control. But even you need to slow down sometimes, or you'll crash into your own desires." Madeline kept the note, and she was never the same again. Not as CEO, not as a woman, just someone who had tasted the power of surrender, if only for a moment, to the forbidden.